Hey, hello, welcome to another episode of the Short, Pale, and Handsome podcast. I am your boy, Loy Lee. Today is Monday, March 25th in the year of our Lord of 2019. I hope all is well in your end. How is your ma? Tell her I said hi, yeah? Okay, so I was off last week. It took me a little while. This chair that I'm sitting in, if you're listening to the podcast, you can't really see, but there's a video portion of this now on YouTube. So in the next day or two, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But it's this really cool, old, antique, Indonesian, Malaysian, I don't know, not quite sure where it was from, but we got it for free. And the wicker netting on the bottom was breaking, so I couldn't use it. And I didn't want to get rid of it because I feel like somebody spent hours on it and their livelihood, and it's great craftsmanship, but it's a little creaky. So all of this creaking noise you hear, that's just me adjusting in my seat. Until you guys tell me it's annoying, I'll probably just keep on be using this chair. But I like it. And so it took me a little while to repair it. You can definitely see pictures of it on my Instagram, loyleecomedy. But I went out and bought Paracord, which is like the military cord stuff that, I don't know what you would use it for. Paratrooping, parachuting, these nuts. I don't know. But I went out and bought some on Amazon, and I netted all of it, and it took me forever. I fucked up my hands. Like, I innerly bruised my fingers, and they were sensitive to the touch because I'm not built for manual labor. Like, my body is not geared to do manual labor. So I just am not good at it. So I messed up my hands, and it took me like 3 days of actually trying to net it together. There's a lot of mistakes because I don't know if you know, but chair making Indonesian style is not what I'm strong at. I've never done it before, and there really wasn't anybody that was online that showed me how to do it. So I kind of just cut out the netting and then paracorded it. And what's crazy is for $30, I thought I was buying 300 feet of paracord. It's like this nice blue that come in a billion different colors, and I was like, I only need like 300 feet. Let me buy 300 feet. It's $30. Seems like a lot. Seems kind of aggressive. But I bought it, and instead of 300 feet, they sent me 300 yards. So now I've got a literal shit ton of blue, royal blue, crip blue, blue ball paracord, right? I have a whole spool of it. Don't know what to do with it. I made a keychain. I made a lanyard. I netted this thing, and now I just don't have any use for it. So if you guys have a use for it, let me know. I probably have, and I probably, shit you not, at least 100 yards left, probably 150 yards left, because I'm a maniac. So yeah, that's where I was, and I really, really, really wanted to not sit in this beanbag, the red beanbag anymore, and I wanted to sit in a throne to get ready for Game of Thrones coming out next month. You know, they have the iron chair. Now I've got the wooden chair. I am the king of the East, the Juke Singh king, which I got called out on. If you were born ABC is what, like, kind of the more less insulting way of calling it is ABC, American-born Chinese. My parents were born here. Their parents were born here. And so you call ABC American-born Chinese. But if you're a real dick and you want to be derogatory, you call people Juke Singh. And that is basically the same thing, saying like, hey, you weren't born here. You're not Chinese. I guess as it's explained to me, I don't speak Cantonese. I don't speak Chinese. But like Juke Singh is like bamboo, and you know how bamboo is like separated. So you could pour the culture into one end, but it is separate. You don't, just because you're Chinese doesn't mean you're Chinese all the way through. you're compartmentalized, and it's pretty derogatory. It's not something that I enjoyed being called by people and kids when I was growing up. And so now I just call myself the Jook Singh King for all of us ABCs that don't fit in the motherland and apparently don't fit here. If you're too white, too American to be Chinese and too Chinese to be American, then you're one of my people. We're people. So Jook Singh King, I'm gonna coin that. Yeah. And what's funny is I can't even get the proper spelling of it. I don't know how it's done. And I ask them around, and people are like, yeah, that doesn't even make sense. And I go, exactly. That exactly doesn't make sense. I am going to own it. But what are you going to do? Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, what's going on? Oh, the wife and I, we watched Christopher Robin last night. And one thing about my wife that you guys probably don't know is she loves Winnie the Pooh. And, it has a strong strong connection with her immigrant, ties or childhood, and Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin went to the woods and played with stuffed animals because he had no friends. My wife had no friends because she's from another land. So she's very partial to Winnie the Pooh. And Christopher Robin is a new movie where Christopher Robin grows up and goes back. He ends up going back to Winnie the Pooh, back to the 100-acre forest. And it's like Hook, basically Hook. Peter Pan grows up, comes back to the Neverland. Christopher Robin grows up, finds Pooh again, and realizes that he's been a twat his whole life, and he needs to go back to being a loving individual that Christopher Robin was. And I'm not saying I cried, I did, but it was very, very well. Like it played on all of your heartstrings. It hit you right there in the feels, kicked you in the dick. All of it just made you feel like, wow, I need to quit everything I'm doing right now and pursue my dreams and be a better person because time's going fast. You can't just go about life and you can't let life get you down. He grows up and he's not fun anymore. He doesn't laugh. The person that he was is not recognizable from the person he is, and you go, wow, I need to really get my shit together because you got one shot at this. The person that you were, how far away from that are you now? The person that everyone loves, are you that guy anymore? I don't know. I'm not crying right now. I'm not crying. I'm just saying, put a lot of things in perspective. Winnie the Pooh. Check that out and tell me if you did not at least think about crying for at least a moment. Because I did. I thought about it. St. Patty's Day was very uneventful, very sad for me because I don't know if you know, but St. Patty's Day is my favorite day of all of the year. Christmas is cool. Easter, meh, whatever. And St. Patty's Day, that is the day that I enjoy. And my wife is a good Christian woman, good Catholic girl that she is. She decided, hey, I'm not going to eat meat, and I'm going to try to cut down on alcohol, and I'm going to stop eating carbs. Well, I'll let you know, one of the three is still standing. She's not eating meat. Get those dirty thoughts out of your mind. She's not eating red meat. She's going pescatarian, which is not a religion. She had to explain that to me. Pescatarian is basically she will not eat red meat or chicken, basically fish, shellfish, and she's trying to cut down on alcohol, which, I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe from St. Patty's Day, which is the 17th of March, to her birthday, which is in the end of April, maybe I should just go on like an abridged Lent. You go, well, Jesus said 40 days. Well, Jesus is going to understand. He's going to have to, or not. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't read the bylaws, but I think, he knows where I fall short. Maybe, just maybe, he'll understand. He goes, hey, you know what? I know you're not capable, but you tried. And March 17th to the end of April, that's not quite 40 days. That ends up being like 30 days, give or take. But yeah, maybe that'll do. I don't know. But maybe that's what it'll do. And what's great about New Year's is you come out strong out of the gate. You know what? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna have a better year. A new year, new me. I'm gonna eat right. I'm gonna wake up in the morning. I'm gonna drink water. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna go do that yoga that I've been saying. And then you fuck up by February. But guess what, Asian people? Lunar New Year is usually right around that corner, right by the time you fuck up, end of January, beginning of February. Chinese New Year comes right around and you go, hey, you know what? Let's take another stab at this. New year, new me. I'm going to try my best. And then right around March, right around the time you fuck up, Fat Tuesday comes around and you have Ash Wednesday and you go, you know what? New year, new me. I'm going to try to do better this year. And I think, you know what? It comes down to like, just keep on trying. Try until you fail and then pick yourself back up again and do it over again. Start at the beginning. If you went 10 days, go 12 and you fuck up, you get back up. You did 12 days, do 15. By next thing you know, you're going 30 days straight. New Year comes around and you go, hey, you know what? New year, new me. 31 days, right? It's not about being successful. It's about trying, people. Unless it's comedy, then people don't want to see you try to do comedy. They want you to actually do comedy. So that is Lent. How's your Lent going, huh? How's your 40 days, 40 nights going? Did you give up red meat? Did you give up the devil's brew? Did you give up the cocaine? I don't know. What'd you give up? For Lent, I gave up resolutions. I just stopped resolving. I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna, I don't know, maybe start over again another time. Maybe. 40 days of no resolutions. That sounds about right. Like, Lloyd, that's not how that works. I don't know. I didn't write it. I didn't make the rules. Just give something up. I gave up resolutions. Jesus would be, happy that he made me this smart. Tell me what your resolutions are, and I'll tell you how much I would not be able to do that. I'm not disciplined. I'm not disciplined at all. Like, I'll stop eating carbs when carbs are no longer accessible. Like, if I got to go hunt for carbs, I'm not... fuck it. I'm going keto. You know, when I got to go hunt my own deer with my bare hands and rocks, then maybe I'll give up. Maybe just then I'll give up red meat. You know, if I got to go find my own hog, guess what? No pork in my life. That's how my resolutions should be. My resolution should be, hey, put forth an effort. I'll run when I'm being chased. So yeah, tell me what your resolutions are. Tell me how much of a better person you are than me, and maybe we'll be friends. Just maybe. What else is going on? We're 14 minutes in. Baseball season starting. Baseball season is around the corner yet again, and I'm excited. I don't know if you guys know, but I am a big baseball fan. I get the MLB Package, which if you are on T-Mobile, you get all of the MLB Package for free. That's like $150 value. You get it for free. You should probably do it because not only do you get to watch every single game, there's a lot of features on there, like being able to listen to your team's commentary regardless if they are home or away. And I think that's key. Because I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Rem Dog for the Boston Red Sox, and I always love his commentary. I like consistency, and if you find a good play-by-play, you should just follow that team because that play-by-play guy will be worth it. You know, the color commentary, the analyst team, it'll make watching baseball worth it. What else is going on in the MLB Package? You get you get abridged games too, which is awesome. If you don't get a chance to watch a condensed game, you go, oh, it's the freaking Red Sox and I don't know, the Twins or interleague play, and you're like, it's better than highlights, right? Highlights is a minute, you see a couple hits, whatever. But condensed is like all of the critical things that made the game worth watching. You get all in like 15 minutes. And on top of that, no commentary. So it doesn't matter. You just get the plays. I'm a fan of that. So if you're a T-Mobile fan, make sure you are on the lookout for how you get that for free. I think it's in the Tuesday app. If not, spend the $150. The great thing about baseball is baseball has all of the analogies of life. Everything that's worth talking about, all the philosophical quandaries and conundrums that you find in life, baseball can solve through a metaphor or analogy. I don't know which one is which. I don't know either one, to be honest. But anyways, baseball is the analogy for life, and it's a great pastime. And people go, baseball's boring, right? Because you don't know what you're watching. Anything is boring if you don't know what you're watching. People say boxing's boring. Two grown men trained to punch each other in the face or punching each other in the face, and people find that boring. Baseball's boring until you get into it. Baseball's not dying. I don't know who's watching it. I know I am. But Mike Trout just signed a 12-year, $430 million contract with the Angels. $430 million over 12 years. 12 years from now, it's 2019. It's going to be 2031. I'm going to be fucking 50 years old by then. I don't know. Does that math work? 38, 2, 40, 50. I'll be 50 years old by then. Watching baseball. The great thing about baseball is there is 162 games per team. There's like they play 162 games over 181 days. There's not a single day without baseball for 3 months, 96 months for 6 months. Wow, Loy, your math is garbage. I know. There's 162 games played in 180 days. There's like 1,000 some odd games a year. There's 6 months without a single day without baseball. That's what I'm trying to say. Something like that. Don't look those things. Don't look those numbers up. But it's you can watch baseball every day for 6 months. It's freaking phenomenal. It starts this month, later on this month, I think end of March, and it goes. World Series is middle of October, right? End of November, end of October, something like that. It's America's sport, bro. Like football, 16 weeks. You play 16 games in 16 weeks. Basketball, 82 games in 4 months, something like that. Hockey, 82 games. Baseball, 162 games. Yeah, that's a real sport, bro. And on top of that, going to a game, there's nothing else like it. You go to the game, have a hot dog and a beer, and enjoy being outside. And I don't know, I just enjoy it. So that's what's important. I got to watch the UFC fight. Actually, I'm lying. I didn't get to watch the UFC fight. I watched the highlights. And what's funny about this is never take my advice on anything about sports analysts or boxing or MMA. I'll tell you what I think, but I'm rarely ever right. I might have points, but that doesn't actually make me right. Me and my buddy, we were just talking about the Superman punch. And my buddy, he rolls jiu-jitsu. He's a physical therapist. He big UFC fan, big boxing fan. He trained boxing, all of that, right? Me and him were having this conversation. Shout out to my homie. We just having a conversation last UFC fight where we were at his house, and he was talking about the Superman punch, which if you're not familiar, it's like a jumping punch. I I don't really know how to explain it. It's a jumping, lunging punch that comes like your front foot, which is normally not your foot that you gain power off of. You usually push off with your back foot. With your left foot, your front foot becomes your back foot as you jump, right? So you're pushing off your front foot. I don't know. But just think of basically a running and jumping and punching. Think of that. You run, you jump, and you punch. Whatever that looks like in your head, that's basically the Superman punch. And we were just having a conversation about how that's not really effective. That's not really like, it's how you clear space. It's like how you get into the middle quickly, and then you could set it up off that. It's really just kind of like a punch that gets you in position to set other things up. And it rarely ever lands, and it's rarely ever effective, and it's more of just an accessory to a combo, right? You build off of it. And then we were watching UFC Fight Night Nashville. The main event was Pettis versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And Pettis, Superman punch, knocks him out cold. So not only did I say, hey, it's rarely ever effective. Hey, it's just like, it's not really a knockout punch. It rarely lands. Anthony Pettis shows me up. Like, crazy, right? He was taking damage. He's on his fence. His back was on the fence, and then next thing you know, run jump, like a running jump punch, Superman punch, knocks Wonderboy Thompson out cold. And now, if you don't watch any of UFC, I get it. It's fine. No big deal. I'm going to tell you, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is a guy that rarely gets hit. He's very hard to hit. He's slippery. He's got a very strange, in-out, hard-to-hit style. So when I said, hey, people rarely land it, it's rarely effective, Anthony Pettis proved me wrong on like all sorts of fronts. So if you did not get a chance to watch it, it was on ESPN, UFC on ESPN Plus, which is a new thing. And I'm not telling you that I watch illegal streams. I'm just saying I was told that it's very difficult to illegally stream it now, almost impossible. And that's not why I didn't watch it. Okay, people, I was busy. I was doing shit. I was out there doing comedy, entertaining people. I'm just hearing that from all of my counterparts on Reddit. Who would ever know, right? What else is going on? Baseball back. Oh, Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski, one of the most prolific tight ends in football history. One of them. Everyone's going to say, oh, what about Antonio Gates? What about not Aaron Hernandez, the other guy, Tony Gonzalez. See how I'd get those mixed up? Bad reference, Loy. Okay, so, people are always like, well, he wasn't as good as Antonio Gates. He wasn't as good as Tony Gonzalez. But I'll tell you that what he did in 9 years, he won 3 rings with Tom Brady, one of the most feared blockers and feared wide receiving tight ends. He retired. His body was failing him. We witnessed greatness within greatness within greatness. Now, you go, what do you mean, Loy? We witnessed Belichick era, which his coaching has been one of the greatest. It's never been duplicated. It probably never will be. He's just a mastermind, one of the greatest. So we witnessed greatness. And within that greatness, Tom Brady. We are still witnessing greatness with Tom Brady. Pick 199 in the draft. No-namer from Michigan. One of the most greatest quarterbacks in the history of ever. We get to witness that. And then within his era, we get to watch Rob Gronkowski, one of the greatest tight ends. Back when tight ends weren't really receivers. They drafted him, and it was kind of like, tight ends, they were kind of the last resort. They were kind of like blockers, but last resort. They were kind of an afterthought. And someone's going to correct me. Well, not true, bro. For the most part, it is. And we saw him get drafted right before Aaron Hernandez, who I think together could have been the scariest duo. They were, for the time, the scariest duo tight ends ever, when people really weren't getting two wide receiving or receiving tight ends. We witnessed greatness within greatness within greatness. So shout out to him. He deserves it. I hope he is physically gets better for the rest of his life. He's young. He's like 30. He's 8 years younger than me. And he's worth millions. That's what goes to show is what you need in life is dedication, commitment, and direction. Once you get direction, you got to be committed to it. And then you just dedicate yourself to it, and you can be great. I've dedicated myself to comedy, and this is the first thing that I've really dedicated myself to. As you can tell, my podcast, it's spotty. It's Monday, but just not every Monday when it should be. I'm spotty. I get it, bro. So, I'm trying to be more dedicated and more focused on these things as time goes by. But it definitely shows that you can be great with hard work and dedication. That's what that shows. What else? Shows shout out to Rob Gronkowski. Shout out to the baseball season starting, UFC, ESPN, Lent. I think that's all I really got. I'm really just trying to get trying to be harder working than what I've currently been. And I'm trying to get myself to the next level of this comedy game. And that requires a lot of things that have nothing to do with comedy. I enjoy this podcast. I just wish, there's something in your brain. There's something in my brain that goes, hey, you're not good enough. Everything you do is not good enough. And sometimes that voice wins. Sometimes that voice goes, hey, bro, you didn't do shit this week. You got nothing to talk about. Don't do it. And sometimes I go, I'll do it at noon. I'll do it after lunch. I'll do it before dinner. I'll do it after dinner. It's Tuesday. Maybe I should have done it. Maybe I should do it. It's already Tuesday, bro. Don't bother. Wednesday comes, Thursday comes, like, bro, don't bother. You don't have to do it on Monday. And the voice wins. What I'm telling you is we are always full of doubt. There's doubt around the corner. I didn't really grow up with a strong father figure, and I don't blame that. I'm just saying that is nobody just told me, go fucking do it. Doesn't matter. And I heard this quote. Brian Callen said it on the Joe Rogan podcast, which I'm a huge fan of. Shout out to the great JRE podcast. Shout out to Brian Callen. He read this quote from like a dancer, like a modern day dancer. I can't really quote it because I was not prepared to talk about it. But it basically says it's not up to you to judge the art. It's up to you to make it, put it out there. It's not yours to put value. If you don't do it, no one else will. Whatever your art is, it will be silenced if you silence it and forever be lost. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was a phenomenal quote. I'll have to put it up somewhere. Or I'll look it up for the next one. But it resonated with me because I always go, hey, the people that dedicate 30 minutes a week to this podcast, the people who dedicate 30 minutes a week to this podcast, they enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. It's not for me to go, oh, you're not going to enjoy it. Don't let me do it. I'm not going to do it. Don't force me to do it. It's not for me to judge. Do it. Put it out there. And let everyone decide on their own. Is it worth the 30 minutes? I hope so. If there's ways that you'd prefer that I do better, you let me know. But in the coming future, I'm trying to put more stuff together, trying to put it better for you for these things. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying all the avenues. All of these avenues are free. I have the resources. Let's get it done. And that's, if you're like, hey, where's Loy? Why hasn't he put one up yet? It's the voice one. Shoot me a text. Shoot me a DM. Slide in my DMs real quick. And tell me, hey, Loy, it's Wednesday. I know. Put it up. Don't be a dick. Put it up. I need that. And, I need that in my life. So, shout out to you guys for being part of this little secret society called the Loyminati. I appreciate you guys. I do this for you. I create these things for you, and it's really what's going on in my head. So thank you very much. Please rate this, 1 star, 5 stars, wherever you found this, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But that's not what I wanted to say. Wherever you found this podcast, Apple, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, wherever you found it, rate it 1 star, 5 stars, leave a comment. I really, really do appreciate it. I do read them. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Loy Lee Comedy. If you guys feel like you guys can contribute by asking questions, if you guys want, like what would a comedian do? Go ahead and shoot me an email, loyleecomedy@gmail.com. LOYLEE comedy. That's how you spell my name. But I really do appreciate you guys, and I'm trying to work out all of my insecurities little by little, and I need your help. So thank you very much. Follow me, find me, let me know, and fuck with me, people. Shoot me an email. Tell me about how your day is. Tell me about what you think on a topic, and maybe we'll have a conversation. Who knows? All right, guys. Also, if you're in the DC area, second week of April, I will be at the DC Comedy Festival, which is put on by Broken Diamond Comedy and a bunch of the great promoters and show producers in the DC area. So I'll be doing a couple shows there, hosting one of the shows. You could definitely find all that information out on my Instagram. Is there something else? Shout out to this creaky chair. Shout out to 300 yards of Paracord. Shout out to everybody. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Go watch Christopher Robin. Okay, bye.